Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. We finally got some real football, some Ravens football tomorrow against the Eagles, preseason week 1. Today will be like a preview show going over the matchups I'm excited to see and which players I'm excited to see. And we are doing a giveaway this episode, so at some point during this video, I'm going to ask you guys a question, and then all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like the video, and then drop a comment with your answer. We'll lock the comments at kickoff, so anything after kickoff doesn't count just because the game had already started, obviously. And then after the game, I'll look through all the comments and see who got the closest answer, and I'll Cash App, Venmo, however you want to receive money. I'll send you $50. You can go over the answer, under the answer, doesn't matter. Whoever's closest. If someone gets it right, they obviously are getting the money. If multiple people get it right and there's a tie, then we'll just split the money. I don't foresee that happening very often because it's going to be a unique number. But if that does happen, we'll just split the money or figure something else out. All right, enough of all that. We'll talk some football now. Tomorrow, preseason game versus the Eagles. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll start with the position that I've been talking about a ton and that the entire fan base is kind of talking about now, and that's cornerback. So we know Marlon Humphrey's not going to play. John Harbaugh already said that. He said no established starters are going to play, period. Pepe Williams was just carted off in practice yesterday. I'm going to assume he's not playing. And Jalen Armour-Davis didn't practice yesterday for the first time, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. I'm hoping we do see him. If we do see him, I'm all eyes locked on him just because we have been hearing so many great things throughout camp. And out of all those corners that we have behind Humphrey and Rock Ya-Sin, Jalen Armour-Davis right now seems like he'd be the corner to get the most playing time. So I'm just curious to see where his game's at, and I'm hoping he plays. We also got Arthur Mullet that we just added, but he hasn't been practicing in a while, along with Rock Ya-Sin, who also hasn't been practicing in a while, so I'm not expecting to see Rock Ya-Sin or Arthur Mullet. So that leaves us with Kavon Seymour, Ardarius Washington, Caillou Blue-Kelly, and these are names that I also am interested to see if anybody can kind of leap out of the pack. We've been hearing a couple things about these guys throughout camp. They've been making a play here or two, pass breakup here or two. But I would say these guys aren't in line for a prominent role this year at cornerback. So I am curious just to see what we have there. Can someone step out of the mix? Because they're going to be playing early and they're going to be playing often. A lot of these corners are going to be playing the entire game because we don't have a lot of corners unless they're bringing in a bunch of guys that we've never heard of just to play in the preseason game. That could happen, especially later in the game. But I expect to see a lot of these guys, and that's good, especially for someone like Caillou Blue-Kelly, who's a rookie. I'm excited to see all these rookies. I hope they get as much playing time as possible, maybe besides Zay Flowers. But I'm just saying Caillou Blue-Kelly is in prime position to get a ton of playing time during the preseason. So hopefully he's out there and getting a lot of reps. And I'm really excited to see where he's at. I'm not expecting greatness or anything, but you make a player here and there, you get an interception, you gain some confidence, gain some momentum. That's the type of guys that we need to kind of step out of the pack and make some noise in this cornerback room, either to push the other guys or just earn their playing time. They have great opportunity in front of them. At this point, we haven't brought anyone else in, so I am excited to see where the cornerback room stands below all these injured guys. Another position and player that I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in this role is Brandon Stevens in that safety role. Now, I'm not sure if they play him there. Maybe they move him to corner just because we are so thin or short right there right now. But if he does play safety, I'm curious to see how he's reacting out there, what his instincts are like in the backfield. We've seen him there a few times, but I want to see him there during the game. I feel like Brandon Stevens is a really versatile player and can kind of do it all at a decent level. And I'm just curious to see how this full transition to safety is. They also have Worley as safety on the depth chart. So just kind of curious to see what they're doing, what kind of they envision with Brandon Stevens and Worley at safety and how they're playing at safety, just to see if they are true safeties or are they kind of just going to be moved all over the secondary. Trenton Simpson's been out of practice, so I don't see him playing in the game. I was really excited to see him, see his speed on the field, see if he was kind of jumping off the screen like he did in college, but I think we're going to have to wait. He hasn't practiced at all. I'm sure we're not going to see him. Hopefully we get some Malik Harrison. I want to see if he's taking his game up at all. He's been on this team and played a smaller role for years, and I know you got Roquan and Patrick Queen ahead of you. Playing time is definitely not open, but they're not playing in the preseason game most likely. I would consider them established starters. So let's see what we got with Del'Shawn Phillips and Malik Harrison. Phillips has popped off and made some plays in camp. I haven't heard a lot from Malik. He's been on this team for a few years now and hasn't made a ton of noise. So is he a roster bubble type player, or does he have a secure role in this team? I'm just excited to see whether he's taken his game anywhere at all, or is he the same player that he's kind of been these past few years. And another linebacker to toss into that mix is Josh Ross. Josh Ross the other year was flashing all preseason, dominating. And we had really high hopes, and then he got hurt and was out for the entire season. I haven't heard much of him throughout camp. I don't know if the injury is still kind of bothering him. Maybe he's not full speed. Maybe he's kind of lost the momentum that he had from last year. But I am excited to see if he can make some plays and stand out on tape like he did last time he was playing. Because last time he was playing, Josh Ross was one of the main talks of camp. So is there anything left? Is he recovered from the injury? Is he the same player? Can he be better? Because I feel like he could earn a spot, especially on special teams on this roster. You just got to go out in the preseason and make some plays. On the D-line, I'm not expecting David Ajabo and Owe to play. I would consider them established starters as well, but if they happen to play, then I am extremely excited to see this pass rush, especially David Ajabo, just because we haven't seen him really. And then Owe, I want to see if he's taking his game to another level, but I'm not expecting them to play this game. I am excited to see Travis Jones play, and I'm excited to see how he moves that line. I know he will. He's just such a strong dude with quick feet that I feel like he can kind of disrupt these preseason offensive lines. So we'll see how he does, but I'm expecting him to play. I'm expecting him to make some kind of impact. All right, let's turn the page to offense. We have a really interesting backup quarterback situation going on between Tyler Huntley, Josh Johnson, and Anthony Brown. We've seen Tyler Huntley and Anthony Brown get some run towards the end of last year when Lamar was hurt. And now they're kind of all going to get a chance to shine in this preseason, and somebody's going to win that backup quarterback role. I would still lean towards Huntley being the favorite in that category, but may the best man win. They're all fighting for that backup quarterback role, which is an important role, especially because Lamar's went down the last 2 seasons, and that backup quarterback has had to step into a playoff team and play meaningful games. So it's a really important role, and whether you land a job on this team as a backup or get a contract for another team as a backup or potentially a starter down the road, this film matters. So I'm really excited to see Huntley, Josh Johnson, Anthony Brown, who's commanding the offense, who's operating the offense at a high level. These are all really important things, and it's a new offense. I know the preseason's usually like dumbed down, so we're not going to get to see everything that we're unloading in the regular season, or maybe not much of anything that we're unloading in the regular season. But either way, we should see a better passing game, I would imagine, overall. And these quarterbacks have to execute that. So I just can't wait to watch this backup quarterback competition unfold. I think it's one of the most interesting competitions on the team, and may the best man win. Tight ends, we know Mark Andrews is not playing, but I'm excited to see Isaiah Likely. I think he could be one of the most explosive players on the field and one of the best players for our offense in the preseason. We saw that last year. He was dominating last year in the preseason. I would expect nothing less. I think that he's in line to do the same type of thing, unless he just doesn't play a ton. I know we still have Charlie Kohler, and I'm sure he's going to play a lot as well. That's another guy I'm excited to see where his game's at. We haven't seen a ton of him. I want to see him make some plays out there in preseason, but I think Isaiah Likely can put on a show. I think he could be the star of the team in preseason and put up some really big numbers. And I still think he's going to have a nice role on this offense in the regular season. So I expect him to dominate in the preseason. Running backs, I'm not sure who's going to play. I know J.K. Dobbins is not going to play. Gus Edwards is probably up in the air. I would imagine Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, and probably Melvin Gordon play. And that leads us to the question of the day. Here is the question. So how many yards combined, receiving and rushing, will Keaton Mitchell have in tomorrow's preseason game? How many receiving plus rushing yards, just one total number, will Keaton Mitchell have in tomorrow's game? Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and drop your comment with the answer. It's just one number, total yards that Keaton Mitchell will have, not counting return yards. I don't think he is doing returns, but receiving and rushing. Whoever is closest, you can go over or be under, doesn't matter. Whoever is closest after the game on Saturday will win. And Keaton Mitchell's had a ton of buzz throughout camp. So I'm expecting an explosive play at least. I just want to see that burst. I expect that from Justice Hill as well. Justice Hill came back last year and looked faster to me. He looked quicker and had some explosiveness to his game. And I think we'll see that with Keaton Mitchell as well. I think these backs are going to be involved in the pass game more than before. And if this offense is designed to create more space on the field, then these speed guys are going to eat in open space. So I'm really excited to see Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell. And if Melvin Gordon plays, I'm excited to see how he looks. Does he have anything left in the tank? Is he going to make the team? I know that his salary is not really guaranteed at all, so he actually could be cut. And Keaton Mitchell could kind of take that spot if he shows out. So I'm excited to see where we're at with that. I know Melvin Gordon's a vet, so there's a chance maybe he doesn't play. If he doesn't play, I would say it's probably a decent sign because you'd think if he's really fighting for his spot, they'd give him a chance to play. So we'll see. The running back battle is an interesting one as well. We know we got J.K. and Gus, but how are those other running backs shaping up? Because one or two of them are going to play a solid role for us this year. Our running backs do rotate. So I'm excited to see where we're at with that running back room as a whole. Definitely have my eye on the left guard competition. I think John Simpson will probably get the start, but how does Ben Cleveland look? How does Saleh look? Are they getting beat consistently? If they do get beat, are they learning from it and getting better throughout the game? So I will be watching that left guard spot like a hawk. I think that all three of those guys have a great opportunity in front of them to earn the starting job on an incredible team, and they should all be inspired and motivated by that opportunity and play their best football in these preseason games. I'm not expecting to see Rashad Bateman or Odell and possibly not Nelson Aguilar. I'm not sure. I would consider him a starter for sure, but I don't know what John Harbaugh is leaning on that. So if Nelson Aguilar does play, I'll love to see him out there, but I kind of know what we have with him a little bit. I think Zay will play a short amount of time just because he's a rookie. We usually do play those guys. Harbaugh mentioned that it's beneficial to get rookies experience out there in a live game before the regular season, and I agree. Obviously, try and protect Zay as much as possible. We don't need him playing a whole half or the whole game or anything like that, but I think it'd be nice to go out there for a few drives with Zay and just let him get a feel of NFL speed and gain some confidence. I know he's got a ton of confidence already, but if he goes out there and makes a play or two, he's just going to build upon that confidence. So if Zay plays, he's definitely the most exciting player to see out there. First-round pick, wide receiver, explosive. I can't wait to see him play. I think he might. I think he might play for a drive or two. And then the other receiver battle, the Devin Duvernay, Tylan Wallace, James Prochet, Laquan Treadwell group. Who steps out of that? We haven't heard a ton from Devin Duvernay. We've been hearing Nelson Aguilar making plays. Where's Devin Duvernay? Devin Duvernay started last season hot. I think he was pretty banged up throughout the regular season and just kind of never really shined again. He went missing, and Greg Roman wasn't using him well either. And now he's kind of pushed down on the depth chart. So does Duvernay still have the same juice as before? Is he the same type of player? Is there just too much talent in front of him? I'm excited to see where Devin Duvernay's game's at right now, and I would expect him to make some plays out there, especially if he's trying to earn an important role on this team outside of just a returner. I'm sure he will be our returner, but I think Devin Duvernay in this offense could shine a little bit we just got to see him make those plays and capitalize on that opportunity, along with James Prochet, Tylan Wallace, who's had countless amount of times. I just think that they probably don't have what it takes, but this preseason could prove me wrong. You go out there, ball out consistently and make plays, then there's a spot for you. Laquan Treadwell's another one. We've been hearing him here and there make some plays. I'm just excited to see who makes the most plays out of that deep wide receiver group and really solidifies their spot as that 4th, 5th, 6th guy that we might carry to the games. So that covers most of the players and matchups that I'm really looking forward to seeing in tomorrow's game. Can't wait for tomorrow's game. We finally got some real football. Hopefully you heard the question. Just drop your answer in the comments, and then after the game, I will see who wins and announce the winner in a recap episode probably Sunday evening. And then I'll get your information and send the $50 over to you. But excited for some football finally. Hopefully you enjoyed this preview video, just some matchups I'm excited for. Let me know some players and matchups that you might be excited for. And let's enjoy some Ravens football tomorrow, guys. I can't wait. Thank you guys for tuning into another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense. Can't